Chuck, do you have a tangible example of how Fairmont Minerals may have made a difference in a community versus another company that maybe didn't make a difference in that community?
There's a number of those examples, but I think one that would come clear is we wanted to open up a new mining operation, excuse me, in Wisconsin. So we worked with the community. We actually set up a sustainable development committee within the community. We brought them to our facilities, let them talk to our neighbors, our townspeople, and our people, and we got an approval for go ahead with that permit. And we really have been involved in that community. As a matter of fact, in 2008, we took all 345 of our people to their town for one day and did a day of caring for their entire town. 345 people can do a lot of work in a day. Another company came to town, wanted to open up a mine, and they came in kind of not necessarily with the same value sets, and they got a unanimous decision from their board, from the zoning board also, down. So they're not there. That is an incredible example of working together with people who have shared values. And from a prosperity standpoint, it's not only the employees we have there, the other business people that are involved in the city, the trucking, the railroad, and so forth. We're doing quite well.
After you had that day of caring, did it create an example for other industries in that town?
We're seeing more and more of them come on board to it and begin to participate, which will be just a real win for this town.
Your motto, do good, do well, was that on purpose that you're emphasizing do good first?
Oh, absolutely. When you talk about our family, Fairmont family members, it really is important that we do good and do well, because then you get, again, all of the 3 Ps fulfilled. You also get the good feeling into a lot more people. And very honestly, we look at it, we don't think our society has got time to wait for do well and then do good. We think the time is now, and we think that waiting to do well before we do good is, we don't have that luxury.
Is there one seed which can be planted in a corporation which will eventually give rise to building the values in the company?
I think that one seed is empowerment, and truly exempling empowerment. Because if everyone in the organization can understand that they are empowered, and with that becomes responsibility, then you now have a multitude of people working toward the same goal, rather than waiting to be told what to do. If you have a CEO or a board of directors who want to hold the reins and want to make every decision, it's going to be very hard to get those kinds of values through that organization. Make your decisions on the 3 Ps, and you are empowered to do it. It's not rocket science. It's just really basic personalities, basic human traits, and getting the best we can out of everyone who wants, and to the level at which they can.
Well, Chuck, I want to thank you for coming. You're an inspiring leader in our community and all over the country, and your company is inspiring. And thanks for being with us. And when we come back, we're going to have Barbara Snyder, the president of Case Western Reserve University, who will tell us how the community has benefited from Chuck, Fairmont Minerals, and their values in action. We're back with Values in Action, and we have as our guest Barbara Snyder, who is the president of Case Western Reserve University. Barbara, I just wanted to ask you, what are the values, in your opinion, that drive Chuck Fowler?
Well, Chuck has been a great addition to Case Western Reserve. He's a 1990 graduate and also now a member of our board of trustees, and he truly lives his values, and we see that at Case Western Reserve. He gave us a wonderful gift for the Fowler Center for Sustainable Value, which does great work. It led the Sustainability 2019 project that the City of Cleveland did, and it drew 700 people to downtown Cleveland to talk about how we can make our city a more sustainable place. And it also affects our students. Our MBA students can take a sustainable value course of curriculum in what's called the Institute for Sustainability.
Wonderful. Can you briefly explain what sustainable value means?
Sustainable value is really all about people, and then in a way it's actually the motto that comes from Fairmont Minerals. It's about people and the planet, and of course ultimately he would like to have some prosperity too, but he really focuses first on people. And sustainability requires, partly it's a process and partly then it's an outcome. And it does involve a structure around that where you bring people together and seek a lot of input about how to create things that will be of value to people in the long run and how they can sustain themselves over time.
Barbara, how his involvement has helped CASE or his students?
Let me give you a personal example. Chuck so believes in sustainability and the importance of that, that when I signed on behalf of the university, the college and university president's climate commitment, which requires us to take our own internal steps towards sustainability over time. We held a meeting and we brought together some of our faculty who have a research interest in this, and our staff and our students, all of whom are committed to this. And we asked if anybody from the board wanted to come, and Chuck volunteered. So we had representation from all across the organization, including the board. And I don't think that happens at very many universities.
Barbara, I just want to ask you one last question before we leave. Chuck earlier spoke about empowerment, that he believes that his success has been based on, yes, having a set of core values, but empowering other people to come up with their good ideas. And ultimately, he believes that if you empower people, they come up with good ideas that are good works.
The process that you're speaking about really is not about empowering one person or the leader of an organization, but really empowering the people within the organization. Chuck believes passionately in a process called appreciative inquiry, where you do bring everyone together in the organization at every single level, and you seek the best ideas from those people. And they don't all come from the top, of course. Many, many of them come from people who are on the front lines of the organization, whatever it's doing. And that brings to bear the wisdom of everybody to the challenges that you face. And he truly believes in the power of that to solve problems and to meet challenges. And I've seen it happen, and so has he. And it's a process that we believe in. In fact, it came out of Case Western Reserve and its Weatherhead School of Management.
Barbara, we want to thank you for being with us again, and I want to reiterate what Ratanjit said, that you're a wonderful leader and you empower lots of people in our community. And we'll be back in a moment with a few words from Ratanjit and me.
Stuart, we had an incredible guest in Chuck Fowler, and his message is so powerful.
I think, Ratanjit, that Chuck Fowler and his company represent empowerment, that they have chosen to allow their employees to accentuate the positive, and they've empowered their employees to mobilize their values in this appreciative inquiry process, which is all about positive, not focusing on the negative, not focusing on what goes wrong. That happens so often, not only in business, but in our society. But in terms of the appreciation of one another, their values have come to the surface. And then he allows them to run with those values, and it's made a beautiful company.
Yes.
And it's perpetuated a culture. The culture is not an artificial culture.
Goodness is right within us. This empowerment allows us to nurture that goodness which comes out of us.
Precisely.
Precisely. And thank you for staying with us. This is Values in Action. We will be back next week at the same time. Thank you.